Hello and welcome to Art Success with me, Adelaide Damoah. Today I'm in the studio of Le Gour. Le Gour graduated in 1985 with a BA in Fine Art in China. It was a very exciting time in China from the point of view of the 1985 movement. So historically, China had been closed off from the Western world, and at that time it opened up again. In 1990, Le Gour was invited by both the Barbican Centre and by the Arts Council of England to come over and produce an exhibition at the Barbican Centre, which then led Le Gour to continue practicing in the UK as a professional artist. Le Gour went on to teach at Birkbeck College and also at the British Museum, and for the last 10 years has been practicing full-time as an artist. So really nice to meet you, Le Gour.
Oh, very nice to meet you.
It's really amazing to come to your studio after I've been here for 2 years and I didn't even know that you were here. So
wow.
I'm really grateful that you allowed me to come into your studio and see your work. Really, really beautiful work.
Thank you very much. It's a bit chaotic, but
I like it chaotic because it feels more like this is the studio of a practicing artist.
yeah, it's true. That's all I like. Is sometimes in the studio you can see the brush, pens everywhere, and because that's true state of artist doing work.
Yeah. Could you tell me a bit more about your background?
I had my BA, as you mentioned, in China between 81 to 85, and that time was very interesting because there's in the contemporary Chinese art history called the 85 movement. So I participated that kind of. As a young graduate, to think something fresh, new, against the institutional kind of art world. So that's make me want to be professional artist and trying to think what is art for.
That must have been a really exciting time for you as a young man.
I think it was one of the best of time of my life because you have full energy and full of fresh idea, but this obviously this idea is limited by influenced by Western, but in that time was so fresh.
You were invited to the UK by the Barbican Centre and Arts Council of England to exhibit at the Barbican Centre. How did that come about? How did they hear about you?
Actually, this is happened is introduced by one of my friends. She was used to work in China, and she introduced my work is to the UK, and because during that time I did a lot of ink experiment painting, which is completely different with traditional ink painting.
Yeah.
And during that period, it's earlier for the artist to do that kind of experiment. She was a journalist.
Oh, she was a journalist?
Yeah.
Okay. She was fascinated by your work. She introduced your work to them. Then they invited you over for this show?
Yes.
Okay.
Luckily.
Was that a solo show?
Yes.
And was that your first show?
It is my first show in the UK.
But you previously had shows in China?
Yeah, I participated group show.
So your first ever solo show
was
an international show in the UK?
It is.
Amazing. When you came to the UK and you had that solo show, did you sell any work?
Yes.
How many pieces did you sell?
I can't remember exactly. Probably it's 1/3 of work.
1/3?
Yes.
That's really amazing. And did you then go on to get representation from that show?
I think it's from that show is because that period of work still is transition of my work.
Yeah.
Because when I living and working in the UK during that time, so much thing take in, and I tried after that show. I tried to develop it as a new kind of work, but there was a lot of frustration and difficulty.
Yeah.
So that's subsequently for living I do teaching as make a living. During that time I still practice,
right,
but practice not in public.
Do you feel that was like more of an insecurity for you in terms of your work and not wanting people to see your work while you were at that developmental stage?
Both.
Do you feel like you overcame that through teaching?
Yes, I think also is improve my understanding through reading or through discuss with friends and about see many different good show and bad show.
Yeah.
So that boosts you confidence.
Yeah.
To go back art practice again.
You're represented at the moment by 2 galleries, one in Sloane Square and the other one in...
It's a Hua Gallery, which is based in Hong Kong. Used to had a gallery in Battersea.
In terms of representation, how would you say you came about acquiring that? Did they come to you or did you have to represent yourself to them?
No, actually they come to me, and I think if you're working with somebody else, it's a win-win situation, a mutual interest to each other.
So it's a symbiotic relationship with the galleries.
That's correct.
How did they find you?
I think it's there's a friend who also introduced my work to the first gallery, so that's because she understands my work, and so that's first contact. Luckily, everything is going well.
Yeah. So I think from the sound of it, it's about networking and contacts are really important in terms of getting that kind of support and representation from galleries. And what would you say was your biggest success today as an artist? I've seen that you've shown at the Sotheby's Institute of Fine Art. You've got quite a lot of achievements under your belt today. What would you say was your biggest success and how did you go about achieving it?
I think is one thing I'm happy is I'm still carry on and love it to do it, and I still got time to do it. It's I regard it as big success because that's important. Also is you do freely. Yeah. So that's I think is biggest achievement. But also I feel in last couple of years collaborating with some gallery or events, and particularly last 3 years I had a project with writer Stephen Baycroft. He writing art theory books that called Balance Different Way of See. It should be published this year, and roughly it's 330 pages. Because we had quite a last 3 years have a conversation regarding revaluation of Western and Chinese art, and in different point of view to approach how to see the art and regarding about the art, and how to create art. So that's I think is quite a good thing. Working is amazing writer, and he developed many times, almost now it's 3 years. Collaborating with me is I think it's a mutual benefit for us.
Just amazing. How did that relationship come about?
Well, same as Old Christian, it's a mutual interest. And first I had a show in the low format gallery in 2011. So that's first we talked to each other, and we found it interesting. And subsequently, we talked more and more. He visited my studio quite a lot of time. We find a very interesting point to have this project to start.
That's amazing. I see, you heard it there. Networking and talking to people is really important. Gets you places.
I think that because this book also is about communication. I think communication is so important. This project we so far is nearly finished, but it's not means the book finished. Not means your work finished. So that's just as a projection, which for last couple of years, what you both doing, and but also means hopefully can give you new energy. I think is my experience is just you need to be true to yourself, see what you want to do, and take time to do it. There are young artists looking at you, admiring you, and wishing to follow in your footsteps as a professional, full-time working artist. What would your advice be to them? I don't know how give them advice. For myself, I think one thing I think probably is you can regard it as advice. Just need to chew to yourself, to your heart.
Yes. I think that's excellent advice.
I think that's if you know that, you know what you want to do.
Sometimes it can be difficult, though.
It is difficult
Yeah.
because now, there's so much interruptive, and everything fast. And compare it to that, I think sometimes we need to slow down to think about and what you really wanted. And also, it's good things, the communication, the mobile communication, and everything happens so quickly.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, pretty people's mind is in kind of uneasy mentality. I feel like that. And that's why my work always very interested in balance. The balance between internal, external, and different kind of element, different kind of energy. Some is human elements, some is non-human elements. So that's the whole thing.
How do you personally find that balance and then be able to put it into your work? You've got some really beautiful work, and you can feel this harmony. I feel calm in here.
Yes, I think this is attributed to my cultural heritage, because in Chinese culture, and it's very addressed the balance, and so that's my work. I'm very interested the balance and the flux and the movement overall.
Yes.
I think it's life force.
Yes. So are there any kind of practices that you engage in to help with that?
Yeah, I think it's both mind and physical.
Yeah.
And you can't separate them. It has a philosophical view of. I'm not a dualist, so I always regard in the body and soul, mind, and your action. Always, you can't separate them. So always, my work is. We say it's now objective painting or abstract painting. So,
yeah.
But definitely, I'm thinking for life force. It's how existing, how the life force, wailing and unwailing. So
beautiful, and you can see it in the work.
I hope so. There's a huge potential because my work is a process-based work, and in that sense, you find that there's a huge potentiality. It's always there's potential. Can be new kind of life, or new kind of form, or new kind of pattern, or new kind of a diagram.
Yes.
So also, this is kind of things that depends individual viewer how to see it, and maybe relate to their own individual experience.
It's true. Because when I walked in, it reminded me of my meditation practice, and that feeling of calm, but at the same time, the vibrancy of the colours just made me feel happy and alive. So it's that balance between calm and happiness, what I felt immediately when I come in and saw. So obviously I got the message.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we've got open studios coming up between the 2nd and the 5th of June of 2016. So where can everybody find your studio here at Second Floor Studios?
Yeah, I'm on the Unit 7. Is second floor.
Yep.
Room is 212.
212. Hello again, and thank you once again for joining me for yet another edition of Art Success here with Le Gour in his studio. We are having open studios from the 2nd till the 5th of June of 2016. So if you're interested in Le Gour's amazing, beautiful work, please do come and see. He's in Unit 7, which is as soon as you enter the site, studio number 212. As usual, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you'll get updates on my latest interviews and exhibition vlogs and studio vlogs. Thanks again for joining me, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.